you're listening to the Mackay T Show podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Mackay and T Davis.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. T, seems like down in Miami, there's a little lesson going on about the N-word.
Look, let me tell y'all right now. We can't have everybody teaching our children. And unfortunately, they don't really vet you as a teacher. If you want to do it and you pass the praxis, I think, what is it called? The praxis?
Praxis, yes.
They pretty much just unleash you onto the world, which don't matter how ignorant you are. That man told the kid the N-word. First of all, he said that slaves were not hit with whips. For those who hadn't seen it, the young man was like, "How do you know? Were you down?" Because it was just he started chuckling because it was just so asinine that he would say something like that. When we have pictures of slaves' backs where there have scars where they have been beaten so often with whips. But, don't you let's be serious. Let's be for real. And then he threatened to kick the kid out. You want to have a serious conversation. The N-word just means ignorant, stupid, unread.
Not well read, yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. If we want to go with your premise, that's still bad because guess what? The only people that you were being derogatory towards were black people. The only people that you consistently like stupid, you stupid, ignorant, unread person. If that's what you're going with, you think that makes this any better? It does not.
No.
Okay? It don't make it any better if you change that word and just calling people that look like with one skin color that you're stupid, you're ignorant, you're unread. That doesn't make that better. So
Yeah.
allegedly he is they always investigate. I was like, what is that to investigate? We know whose class the kid was in. Like what?
Right. And for those that don't know what we're talking about, there was a TikTok video that went viral last week where an AP class in a Miami high school, the teacher had a back and forth with one of its students. It started out about slavery, like T said, where the teacher was explaining that slaves weren't beat with whips, and then it rolled into the N-word, and he gave his lecture on what the N-word meant.
And I was and this is an AP course. Not that it makes that much difference, but this is
but that's
the upper level.
In theory, your AP students are your ones that are the higher level of
and so I'm just
academia.
Like, really? Okay. I need him to stop teaching history classes right now because he probably said if Confederate flag or the Confederate state, they were just fighting for their states' rights.
For their heritage.
Shout out to Edward Baptiste and his book. I finished it this weekend. The half has never been told because he did an excellent job of breaking it all down. How capitalism and slavery work hand in hand. And at the end of the day, and we can talk about this another time and I can tell you more about the book, but without slavery, and unfortunately for my ancestors, America would have never made it. Matter of fact, the modern world, because all that cotton they had might terrorize ancestors in the picking, made this place work, and other countries like Britain that was buying all the cotton. But that's another story for another time. We need that teacher to read the book. He'll probably be, and Edward Baptiste is trying to, because he made it plain. He broke it down. He didn't just say, "Oh, the Confederates were not fighting for states' rights." He breaks it all down. Talks about how. Okay, I said we won't talk about this, but anyway, he breaks it down. Basically, they were fighting to keep slaves.
Right.
At the end of the day, they wanted slavery to keep going in some states, and people were like, no, we don't want that to keep going. So let's fight about it.
Yeah,
Civil War.
I know that there was something about an alligator at a Wendy's. Can you tell me?
Yeah, it's some young person, ignorant. I guess I can use the N word. This N word decided to throw an alligator through the window at Wendy's, and he was charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Now, when my buddy Larry, shout out, told me about this, I thought that it was one of those smaller like baby gators. Not that it don't
Right.
matter, but this is like a medium size. Like this is a fairly big gator. I don't even know how he was able to toss it in. Like, I mean, I guess if he was in, I don't know how he was able to do it, but he did it because you can see this. It's a pretty big sized alligator,
Wow.
and they took a picture of 23-year-old Joshua Douglas James from Jupiter, Florida.
Oh, well, Florida acted out and
Consistently.
bless their hearts. And then speaking of bless their hearts, Texas having all kind of issues with the storm. We had
They
some friends, and this is not going to be really what we were fixing to talk about, but we had some friends that we got in contact with over the weekend, some family friends who said that they went 5 days without being able to take a shower and things like that, and just
did they have power? Because most
no,
people didn't have power
no power,
or
nothing.
water.
And they struggled for a good chunk of days, and um, then they said it went from -2 to 70 with like that at the end of it, and we're just back to typical Texas weather.
But then you got to think of typical Texas weather and a storm of that mass. All of this water that's going to be created from the snow melting.
Right.
And then all the homes that they show where the pipes burst or the roofs collapse under the weight of the snow or whatever, and it's a mess. And then add on top of the mess, people are getting $13,000, $10,000, $2,000 electric bills.
That's crazy.
And this is all because the electric, I don't know what it's called. The electric company down there decided, they were told by I think it was the federal government, the report that I saw. Like, you need to sure this up. They weren't mandated to, but it's like, uh, you should probably sure this up in case you get a storm, because they don't insulate their pipes, Brian. So that copper was like, I can't take this temperature. It was just like, well, you know what? Then we gonna burst. So it's reports like that. If they hadn't, they just need to be thankful to God. I know a lot of people still going through it. People have died, but the whole grid, they said, could have shut down, and it'll been millions of people without power down there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I saw a picture, Brian, of somebody's ceiling fan. Where the water had leaked through, it had icicles hanging off their
Yes, I
ceiling
saw
fan.
that same picture. I know what you're talking
I
about.
was like, this is crazy. This family already suing them because they son died from, they think, hypothermia.
Oh
And
my
I
goodness.
was talking to my mama today. Shout out, mama. Um, I, a lot of people, Brian. We movers and shakers. Thank God we have been able to move and shake. But a lot of people don't leave. Like, probably have never left Houston. So they ain't had no reason to have like no winter jackets. Like, if something hit us, we probably, we gonna layer up and put on as many coats, jackets, gloves. People down there ain't got no gloves and stuff like that unless they moved there from somewhere cold. The people that's born there and been living there is hot. I told you, I think that's the hottest place I ever been in the summer. I was there one summer, Brian. I walked from the car to the apartment to the car, and it was just like, I'm sweating. This is ridiculous.
Listen, Mississippi had its own kind of heat, but with Texas,
Yeah,
Texas
and
is another kind of beast.
yeah, I was just like, this stupid. Cause I don't been in Florida, Texas, and Mississippi, and that was the hottest that I can be. Now Miami fighting for 1A, because I was down there one time. I was like, it's wintertime. Why is it hot down here? But anyway, we praying for. Well, I pray for Houston. I pray for y'all. Hopefully,
Yeah.
these bills that they, people don't care. Like capitalists and do the right thing, people. Do not charge these people with these bills. Cause I
Yes,
don't know
it
how
has
your
to be.
bill go up and you ain't had no power for 5 days. That
And,
makes no
and
sense.
and you know that they haven't had power for so many days. Yeah, something can be done about that. That's ridiculous.
Well, what we telling you, Brian? Elections matter. Y'all
Mhm.
proud to never have had any Democrat, or y'all been the Republic, and that's who been running y'all state for the last 20 years, and y'all proud of it. Well, one of y'all officials decided, well, oh, I'm gonna just go out of town and get warm, and then I'm gonna blame it on my kids
Oh,
when
pretty
people
Teddy,
question me about it.
pretty Teddy he went on down to Cancun.
And
And
then it's like, oh, he was taking his children. Just threw your children on the bus because you just lying. You and your family was like, it's cold. We ain't got no power. I'm leaving. Let's
and
go to Cancun.
questioned
Anywho,
about it, and that man said that his children wanted him to come. Just throw his kids on
just
the
throw
bus.
them under the bus.
My,
So, yeah, y'all, elections have consequences. They're not
my,
on the
my,
federal grid. I think it's what they was
my, my,
saying.
my, my.
So, now y'all asking. Now, if y'all don't think global warming real, people, okay, just keep thinking that. Because remember Texas? Wasn't there in Houston or somewhere in Texas? You remember all that flood? That
Mhm.
was a huge flood that was horrific.
Yes.
Okay, y'all don't had two events and it ain't even been 10 years.
No, it
Don't
hasn't.
think these events not going to stop, not going to keep happening. So,
Well, if you cannot tell people, I have a little bit of a cold I'm battling with this morning. I've
oh
been
Lord,
battling
Brian,
with it
you been
over the
around
weekend.
the dirty babies. Because you know babies ain't
Oh,
nothing but germs.
yeah. And
The
that's
germ
probably
bots
why.
be, yeah, germ bots done brought you that to the house.
So, unfortunately, on my end, I do not have any sayings that make no sense this morning, but
Well, hold on. Well, I can help you because you
I
going
know
to,
my co-host is gonna take up the
hold on.
slack. Also, I was not
No, I can help
prepared.
you because
Yes.
what
So,
did I say at the end of our broadcast? What was my sign out?
oh my goodness, I'm sitting. I meant to
Crazy like a fox. Who
crazy like
been
I knew
talking
it
to
was gonna
crazy foxes? Who? What makes
how
foxes
to know
crazy, Brian?
how
Well,
to
what we
know Fox
doing?
crazy. Now, I mean, I know Fox and the Hound, but
Uh, The crazy like a fox. Okay. Hold on. I put it in my phone so that I didn't lose it. Now, and I'm gonna try to be balanced. Some of them be good. You sharp as a tack. you know, some of them be on point. You be like, yeah, I'm sharp as a tack. That makes sense. Um, thick as thieves, Brian. What does thick as thieves mean? Like, thick and thieves. I don't know, cause the whole snitching word come from
I'm about to
thieves
say
not
that,
being.
they're not really that thick because one of them bound to snitch on the other one
Yeah.
eventually.
So I don't know what thick and thief is. I'm not really sure what that even means.
They're not really that thick, honestly.
I, 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 but I'm gonna try to be balanced. And
Yes.
uh, tough as nails. Nails might be tough, but sometimes you hit a nail, it bend all over to the side.
Right. They're not,
So they, it's hit or miss with a nail. It's hit or miss. Now, Brian, speaking of you talking about you got a cold, I'm sick as a dog. Now I don't know. I haven't seen a dog be sick, and I don't really know how that came about. Like I said, you lazy as a dog. I get it. Sick as a dog. I don't know. What's your thoughts on sick as a dog? I have nothing. I don't
I
know where that could have
and
come from.
I've had dogs in my family all my life. I've seen them be sick, but it's not like anything different. They still going about their day. Uh, I never really understood that saying.
I, they might throw up, and then that's it. They
Right.
good. So I don't know. You sick enough to throw up? Maybe that's what that means. Who knows? And I just want to ask, who was watching paint dry? That's all I want to know, Brian. Is somebody tell me who was watching this paint dry so that we can say it's like watching paint dry. I'm not sure. That's just my thoughts for this week.
Yes, I used to get that said to me all the time because I'd be sitting there watching, like something cooking in the
I feel
oven.
so water boiling.
Yes.
You like watching water boil. Oh, a watch pot never boils or something is some kind of term they use. But who watching this paint and stuff? I don't know.
Yeah,
So
you ain't got nothing else to do if you sitting there watching paint dry.
who is this person?
My uncle's a
Paint
painter,
dry.
so maybe I'll ask him.
Yeah, talk to him. See what he can get for us. Let us know what's going down
Yes.
in the paint world.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna come through with a gang of them, so I wasn't worried about not having anything this morning.
I'm gonna say well, at least the one that I thought of. I didn't give all of them, so
That's
yeah.
fine. We got more to give next week, and I'll come with some next week.
Did anybody send us any?
Nobody sent us anything. Yeah, maybe I didn't. I kind of glossed over it last week. Maybe
Lord, you got
people,
WandaVision on your brain.
people,
WandaVision brain.
if you have any funny sayings, they can be Southern sayings. They can be things that you've heard your entire life. That just maybe at this point you sit back and you thought that don't make no sense. Send them to us at the email address, the Mac letter N T show at gmail.com. You can find that email address in the description bar below. And yes, please, we love to hear them. We always like a little chuckle, and and T has found us another segment that gives us that.
Bro, you remember when we did what we was doing it wasn't those are similes like in that stuff. What was it? Puns.
Yes, funny.
Pandemonium.
Yes, we was yes
We
indeed.
know I had a bunch of crazy on here.
That was funny.
Pandemonium.
My goodness. Are we ready to break the fourth wall?
Sure.
My. It was Agatha all along.
And this has been really I really feel confident. We ain't got there yet, but I feel like my guess of who would be that star that he wanted to work with is that person is Strange.
I still am going with that as well.
Cause go ahead and tell the story, and then we can say why.
Okay, so episode 7, breaking the fourth wall, WandaVision. So we start off with a more up to date, basically as far as time periods go with TV. We have a little more up to date situation. We got Modern Family and The Office vibes with the opening of the show, where they're basically talking to the audience.
Y'all, I was confused. I didn't know what was happening. Go ahead.
So Wanda is in full, I'm gonna call it hangover mode from the events of last night's Halloween craziness.
Yeah, she was exhausted.
Yes, where she expanded the bubble and basically had a lot taken out of her. Everything is glitching around her. The boys, the twins' games controllers keep changing, and they get all
Brian, when they went on no course, I wasn't no good. That's my game. I wasn't no good.
Yes, y'all. When T saw those Uno cards, she lost it. Even the milk cartons change when Wanda is pouring her milk into her cereal.
She had the quarter milk, soy milk, the baby milk, the
They had a
milk
missing
from
person on
old
the milk
school.
carton.
Right.
We don't know whose missing person is. Jesus.
And that's curious. I wonder is that a thing as to why they threw that in there. And then they had the glass milk. You had to order and had the ice box. It was a mess.
Right.
She was scared to taste the milk when she ate the cereal.
Yeah, and this is everything's getting so weird around her, and she has no idea why. You can tell she's kind of like. Vision wakes up back inside the bubble to a full on circus. He sees Darcy across the way, who has now been casted into the show as an escape artist in the circus.
Yes.
Vision tries to get her attention, remembering that when he was trying to escape the bubble, Darcy knew who he was and, was kind of yelling for them to save him when he was falling apart outside the bubble. The twins continue questioning their mom. Wanda is continuing her downward spiral. When Agnes shows up, of course, and asks if Wanda wants her to take the boys for a while, which Wanda quickly agrees to. The glitching continues as TV and furniture continue to change around
She
Wanda
had a
in the
flat
living room.
screen and a big screen,
Well, they went
chunky.
through it all.
The curtains changed. I was just like, this is a lot.
We go outside the bubble where Detective Wu and Monica discover Darcy's last email before she was sucked in, showing that Hayward was trying to bring Vision back to life. And it's
Mm-hmm.
noted in the email that nothing was working as far as bringing him back to life until Wanda arrived at the sword facility that day. So, yeah, Hayward, we knew he was shifty, so he was trying to bring him back and was going to use him as a weapon. Monica and Wu reach their rendezvous point where Monica's contacts have her a state-of-the-art truck that's ready to have Monica smash her way back into the bubble. Back inside the bubble, Vision awakens Darcy, and the two of them steal a funnel cake truck, and she begins to fill in Vision on everything that she knows about his situation.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna. They have a bunch of little bitty segments here and there throughout the rest of the episode. I won't go into all of them. I'll just say this: every time they show him, Darcy is still filling him in on things that happened with Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame. And,
Yeah, he don't remember nothing about being
he
an
knows
Avenger.
he has no memory of all this. So she's filling him in on all of that. So basically, that's all that happens and the whole time they're driving, trying to get back to Vision and Wanda's house, they're stopped by
But
red lights,
they didn't get to drive. They stopped because they at the stop sign.
stop sign, red lights,
Then the
kids
red light.
crossing at the schools.
But then they think they
Construction.
leaving the red light. The construction people come.
Yes, construction
They wipe the light off, I guess, because ain't nobody out there. Then that moves, and the crossing guard standing there.
Yes.
Oh well.
So that was a lot of good comedy as that was going on.
But guess what did he say though, Brian?
What was that?
He said that Wanda was trying to keep him from getting off.
Yeah, he assumes that Wanda is in charge of keeping him away. But as we'll go on to see, Wanda doesn't even know where he is. So
Yeah.
I believe now that we know, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. So the glitching continues around Wanda's house. Wallpapers going up and down. Storks are flying in from all over the place. It's madness going on in the house. Wanda continues to be confused and tries to make the glitching stop with her magic. Our commercial for the week is for a Nexus pill that deals with depression. So that leads into T's theory on Wanda having her dissociative.
She got mental health issues. She's trying to deal with them.
Over at Agnes's house, first time we get to see inside her house, her and the boys are hanging out, and Billy tells her that he likes it at her house because things are quiet. And early on in the episode, he was complaining of just loud noises.
A lot of stuff in his head.
Yeah, so things are quiet over at Agnes's house, and he even says that Agnes is quiet on the inside, like he can't hear anything from her. So, Tommy wonders if his mom is okay, and Agnes reassures him, and then breaks the fourth wall and looks at the camera and says, "What am I supposed to tell the kid, that his mom is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?"
For Cocoa Puffs.
Yes. Back outside the bubble, Monica straps in for her mission back inside. The truck gets stuck halfway in.
Hilarious.
And comes popping back out looking like an old rusty pickup on the front half. That was hilarious.
Hilarious. Was it a 404
Yes.
truck?
Oh my gosh.
Some special vehicle on the backside with them big wheels. That was hilarious.
So Monica decides to go back in the old-fashioned way by letting herself basically be sucked in. Well, she kind of forced her way in, and as she's forcing her way in, she gets voices in her head. She hears her mom. She hears Captain Marvel. She hears Nick Fury. She hears all kind of voices going on. And as she gets through, she is now full on a super. She got all her powers. You see her eyes change colors, and we don't know a whole lot about her powers yet. We just know she has them now. Monica goes straight to Wanda's house. They have a standoff where Monica tries to talk it out with Wanda. Just as Monica was seemingly about to get through to Wanda and make her understand, Agnes pops over quickly and she whisks Wanda away.
She
Inside
told her she
Agnes,
shouldn't been there.
inside Agnes's house, Wanda is starting to realize that the boys are missing. She sees the half-eaten peanut butter and jelly.
But it was almost like she forgot they went over there.
Right.
Because she was sitting there. I guess she was contemplating the whole conversation
Right.
that her and Monica had.
And she was sitting there and she sees the half-eaten sandwiches and the Yo Gabba Gabba playing on the TV. And yeah, so she starts to question. She asks Agnes where the kids are. And they say, oh, no, they may be down in the basement or whatever.
We knew Brian, though. I know I felt it in my jealous. Did you feel it in your jealous?
Yes, this is when I started being suspicious. Now, well, you know, I've been questioning Agnes for a minute, but this is
y'all been saying Agnes for you. I say y'all because the people that I was watching a while back, I mean listening to. I told you I gave up on that and just had my own thoughts.
Right,
but y'all right.
So Wanda goes down in the basement to investigate, and that's when Agnes pops out and begins.
But first, she looked. I was scared when she was down there, Brian. Though I was scared. It looked like some kind of maze down there, right?
And
like she don't build a whole little underground living arrangements, and then when before Agnes pops down there, she sees that little book on and it's glowing purple.
Yes,
and
then people watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Runaways, the Hulu TV show Runaways. You will know this book as we think this book is going to be the Darkhold. So if you know anything about the Darkhold, you'll understand what this book was all about. Just basically bad magic spells and this, that, and the other. So Agnes pops out and she begins to explain to Wanda that her real name is Agatha Harkness. And she has been behind everything this whole time. We get a montage of footage showing Agatha has been in control since the beginning of the show. She even flies in at the beginning of the footage on her broomstick. Hilarious. I didn't notice it until I watched it the second time. But she comes down into the scene on her broomstick before she turns to black and white. That was hilarious.
Is she recording? Remember she was behind the camera?
Yeah, she was the director behind the camera at one point. Which actually was earlier in this episode.
Then they showed her at the children's fundraiser
for the children,
doing something with the purple magic ball, and her pushing Pietro to the door. She was sitting out in a front yard having a picnic. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was. And this is what I told T this when we were watching, because we had our little watch party. Shout out to Zoom and Disney Plus.
Disney, y'all need to get this sling feature.
Yes, indeed. We're gonna say that every week until we get that taken care of. But yeah, we were having a watch party, and I told T this was, even though it's been widely speculated that she was playing Agatha since the beginning of the show, the fact that they gave us this reveal in its own episode with 2 episodes left means
we got
the next 2
episodes 2 days of crazy left.
Crazy.
Because we know who the witness is. Who was looking for or is looking for. And Brian, as I thought about it, so obviously I told you some of this, but I had stuff would pop up in my brain randomly,
Right.
like curves of fire. So Wanda still has been in control. I think you remember early on we talked about this, and I was like, maybe because I was trying to put your piece with my piece that the witch would have jumped into her special dreams and then kind of did whatever that way.
Right.
Maybe we had that conversation. Maybe I had it in my brain.
No,
But
we
yeah,
did. I know what you're saying.
I think that Wanda started this, but Agatha took this opportunity like, oh, boom, I can jump in right here and do my dirt. Because we know that, I don't know that Agatha cared about her having kids. I think that was all Wanda. Maybe not bringing Pietro because she was like, she didn't know he was coming. So she did know that part. But she wanted them kids. She wanted Vision. And see, we talked about, because Agatha says something to the effect that she can't really control Vision, but she can control. She got a little bit of way to, not won't say control, manipulate. She can manipulate Wanda into using Vision. So because I think Wanda's expanded that bubble. I don't think that was Agatha because the bubble was red. Obviously, maybe she can, but all Agatha stuff is purple. Like when she's doing control, when she showed us when she was in control, it's purple. I think
Right.
when it's really red, it's still
Wanda. Yes.
Wanda. Like when she knocked Monica out of the bubble,
Right.
uh, uh when she hit Pietro, it was purple. Like I think she still has some. It's not. It's Agatha has done all the madness, but them kids and a lot of it is still Wanda, and now
Yeah.
Wanda gonna be wondering what's going on.
The only piece I'll say about the kids in the comic book, Agatha uh, is basically tasked with having Wanda make the kids, having her, having the kids age up like she's been doing, and basically taking the kids from Wanda at one point and giving them to the Mephisto character, which I don't think, because like I told you, we talked about earlier, I don't think that Mephisto is going to be, I think it's going to be some kind of version of that, but it
Hmm.
won't actually be Mephisto because Disney has so much money tied up with China that because China's not going to allow a devil-like character, basically to be in
Oh
something.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think that it'll be Mephisto. I think it'll be some version of that. But basically, the kids are given are given in a way to this character that unlocks him and frees him from whatever.
Well,
You
you know
know.
what? I might be wrong about that because you know what? She did act like she was surprised that she was pregnant, but
Mm,
she had to manipulate it, right?
yeah.
Because she was surprised that she was pregnant after that. What, episode 2 or 3 when she gets pregnant?
Yeah. She's like, "Are you pregnant?"
And so, well, I don't know what it's going. I know this director still dirty because I feel like that Agnes didn't get in here on her own. I still premise is still that Wanda made this world to deal with her grieving, and
Hmm.
that commercial went with my thought that she
Right.
was depressed and she was trying to find a way to deal with that. And Agatha and whoever she working for saw that was an opportunity to do whatever they want to get done in their evil minds and thoughts.
I
Because
don't
you should have
know.
known. Go ahead.
I don't know what's going to happen, but all I know is I'm excited for it.
Well, Brian, we should have known, and I should have been suspicious, and I was suspicious, but it never came back up. Like I don't be writing down and taking notes. I was suspicious when Wanda, when Agatha was in that car, the stop sign. You know
Hmm.
why I was suspicious? Because nobody else was able to move right there, and I was like, how was she able to get
Right.
there? Period. When most people couldn't even move in that space, so how did you even get there? But I just blew that off. But now we see how, because she been manipulating this thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I remember. I think it was like my second watching. of that
Mm.
episode where I said, I said Agnes faking. I said
You
she
did
faking.
say that. You did say she was
Yeah,
faking. Remember, I kept asking you, well, why did she say, "Am I dead?"
right. That's
She
the
acting.
episode threw me off.
But I was curious why how she got that car down there because everything on that side of town was frozen.
Everything on over there on Ellis was
Yeah, so that was curious. I think the underground. I don't know if the bubble ain't secure underground. Is that a way to get in? Because the man was able to dig under to get in, and he
right.
came up the beekeeper. So um,
Yes,
underground
the
might be.
questions I need answered. I need to know who the missing person is.
Who is the witness?
Where is the beekeeper?
Well,
Is he the strong man in the circus? What's going on?
yeah, we don't know what happened to him.
Where the children? Where the twins? And Lord have mercy, I can't wait to see what happens because I did not go over this, but there was a post credit scene. Monica is rushing around the back of Agnes's house trying to get in, finds an opening
The
to
cellar door. Is that like
basically
a
a
cellar
cellar
door or
door.
something? Yeah.
Yes. So she opens the door and she sees all the craziness, all the purple and the wire, the vines and all that going down. And just as she's about to go down to investigate, Pietro pops up, and he says, "Stooper's gonna snoop," and that's when the episode ends. I can't wait to see what happens between them two.
Well, Monica had some kind of little powers because they moved her into her power realm when she walks through the bubble
Right.
and comes out and she can see like all these energy waves or whatever she was
Which I
whatever.
think, like me and you were talking about, I know in the comic book she's known as two separate characters, as two separate times. One is Photon and one is Spectrum. They've already given Photon to her mom
Mm-hmm.
in the MCU. So I think they're going to have her be Spectrum, which is more of being able to see, light, like she was able to see all the electricity going on
Mm-hmm.
around her, and
What kind of power is that? What I mean, that's nice that I can see it. Can she manipulate it or something?
I
I
believe
guess we'll
yes,
find out.
she's able to manipulate it. She's able to basically use it to uh, phase through walls and things like that. So
So
there's a
that should
lot.
be
Yeah,
interesting.
there's a lot that goes on with her power set.
So she got her powers, but at this point, she wouldn't know how to use them because she just got them 2 seconds ago and walking through the bubble.
But this is what kills me, and it just could be the way they tell her to play it off and act, but she seems like she's not concerned about those powers. Like she already knows she has those powers.
Yeah, she didn't seem shocked.
No, at
She
all.
just stood there. Maybe she could have been considered like, what's going on? Because she stood there for a minute. Remember when her eyes was whatever color?
Right.
She kept looking around, and blinking, and then it went back. So maybe this has happened before or something, and she just kind of dismissed it. Yeah, she didn't really seem to be too shocked, but I'm just going on the premise that we figure. I'm guessing that she just got powers as she walked through that, and she fought her way through the field that Wanda had made to get inside the bubble, and so she wouldn't know how to use them yet. So I don't know how much use they would be to her. According to most superhero origin stories, they don't know how to use their powers when they first.
Um, there's a poll right now out there trying on who the fans think is going to be the special guest star. They
It's
showed
gotta be Doctor Strange.
he's number one.
There's no way it's anybody else. And Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel is number two,
Who they
and
thinking the
then
third one?
Beast from X Men.
Mm-hmm.
They think he's going to be the astrophysicist, or Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. Because we still don't know who the astrophysicist is, because I don't think it was the Goodner character, the army lady.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it was her, because they're making too big a deal out of that. Even Tiana Paris on Twitter is saying, "I can't wait for you guys to see. I want to see your reaction whenever you find out who the astrophysicist is." So They're making too big a deal out of that. So that has to be somebody big.
Well, okay. I had called Strange a while back, not
Right.
trying to go to nothing, but my premise was based on, at some point, Vision is like, let's fight for our home.
Yes.
And now that we know that Agatha is like the witch, because I was going with that, I was like, if it's a whole witch thing, or even if Wanda is turning bad, like some people thought, well, maybe Wanda turned evil. Ain't nobody gonna be able to fight no witchcraft. Well, I mean, somebody could, but you're gonna have to fight witchcraft with witchcraft, and that's what Doctor Strange's specialty is.
See, this whole time, like Norm, when he got pulled out of his thing and was saying that she's in charge, this whole time, I wonder if they've really been talking about Agatha. Because
Probably.
even with Herb, when she knocked Herb out of for momentarily, and then she was shutting him up in that one segment, when Monica was in the house giving
That's why I think I'm on line with you. That's why I think that part of this still Wanda is controlling, because when she was off kilter a little bit, Herb was about to spill a bean, and that's when Agatha's character, or Agatha was, or what's her name? Is it Agatha?
Agnes
Agnes, yes,
Agatha
Agnes.
now, but
Yeah, the character Agatha was like, don't say nothing.
because
Because
we
if she was
saw in the
controlling him, she
montage.
wouldn't have had to tell him that.
Well, in the montage, when they were doing it was Agatha all along. In the montage, we see Agatha wake him up because she,
Yes,
like Vision does to people, she wakes Herb up.
and he cutting through everything. I mean, that's just a man. But yeah, I think it's gonna take witchcraft to, and I don't know. Did they call Doctor Strange stuff witchcraft?
It has things to do with magic and that
Yeah.
sort of
Okay.
thing.
His is called more magic. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. But it's gonna take him and magic to be trying to fight this witchcraft. So, um, I bet. And if it's, I don't, Lord, Monica face if it's Captain Marvel would be
Because you notice
to
when she
live
heard
for, because
Captain
she
Marvel's
was,
voice, that's
yeah.
when she fully broke into the bubble. When
So,
so she feels some type of way about Captain Marvel.
well, okay. Did Betty, which is it? The man that's play Vision, his government
Oh,
name.
Paul Bettany.
Bettany, did Bettany say, when he said it, did he said a actor? I'm looking for it.
He came out this week on Twitter. This is why they playing with us, because he came out on Twitter this week and said that we still have not seen the person.
Well, we know that. We all know that, because this is what I learned. Listen to some interviews, and this may not be across the board, but while we say actress and actor, in Hollywood people, they just say actor, whether it's a man or a woman. And that's why I was like, we can't assume because he said actor that it's a man. It
Right.
could be a woman, but I've heard several interviews, and I was like, you know what? I don't know that they say actress necessarily,
They
and they
don't.
just say
It's
actor.
an actor for
And
everyone
so
else.
they they could be, it could be a man or a woman. I still think it's Doctor Strange, but I
Ooh-wee.
I hope it's Doctor Strange, because I've been waiting for a new Doctor Strange movie, because I've been
Well, we
wondering
know
what happened
that
with the black guy that tried to steal all the magic powers from the sorcerers.
Elizabeth Olsen has been filming scenes for the new Doctor Strange movie, so she will be a part of it.
I
So
don't think she gonna be bad. Now I know that in the comic world she might have went dark.
I think what's gonna happen is, like I've been saying for a minute now. Now that we know who was in charge, who's kind of behind the scenes doing stuff, I think what's gonna happen is Wanda's gonna realize the wrong in what she's created, and she's gonna try and help fix it. So she's gonna run off with Doctor Strange to try and combat this craziness, and
Because
that's
she
when
don't
we're gonna
stole her
get
kids
the
too,
multiverse.
so she
I
ain't
don't
gonna
know
be
when
happy about that.
she gonna bust up. She gonna open up the multiverse at some point. So I think that's now that her kids are missing, and she sees that Agatha has been in charge of her. She might go crazy here in a second and bust open the multiverse.
But two things can be true, and so it could be Doctor Strange. It could be more than one person, because when he said let's fight, he's not just saying this. It seemed like this was gonna be not an epic battle, but a lot like. So
Yeah.
who would they be fighting? They
I
not
don't
fighting
know.
the people that's trying to come in from outside the bubble. Agatha might have to call for backup.
Right, it might be some more witches involved.
So right, so it might be the Mephisto or whoever might bring Magneto. I told you from the cartoon when
Yes.
X-Men Evolution,
Mhm.
she wanted to not like Magneto.
No, she is not not very happy with her father.
So just because he said Benton said that he been wanting to work with this person, it could be the old Magneto, and that he just being dismissive of or not dismissive, but that he just had mentioned Doctor Strange because he ain't never necessarily want to work with him. So all that could be true. That it could be the Magneto coming back. Because wasn't that a line of thinking for people?
Yes, that was.
It could be Magneto coming back, and then and yeah,
It's,
Wanda don't like her daddy, y'all. For
it's
all intents and purposes, she
crazy.
not have, because he had and I had to go and take a peek at the X-Men because I didn't know Wanda's character like this, but in
Right,
X-Men Evolution, they kids in high school, and so when her character shows up, she has the black and red on, but she never, when she does anything, she kind of just use her mind. She don't really do her hand stuff in the red like they do now. And so when Petro was calling her Wanda, it was bouncing out like I didn't think anything of it. I
right.
said Petro, Pietro, and when 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 that whole thing go down with like you said, the other thing is the devil thing that comes up in the X-Men's version of it and trying to take over. Speaking of X-Men, you said they Marvel, right?
Yes.
Please somebody, I don't know who listening, please do another X-Men. Like bring X-Men to the level of what y'all been doing with the rest of the MCU.
Oh, it's coming. They coming. They coming with it in the MCU. Don't you worry.
Because Wolverine, I think, first of all, which character that I feel like they disrespect all the time in the X-Men series.
Ooh, Storm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they just be, oh, it's a fire. Here's Storm. Put the fire out with some rain. Oh, something else. I might flat hit somebody with a little lightning. I'll be like, y'all being disrespectful. She got more powers than, but
Halle Berry.
maybe Halle Berry. They might you think they might bring her into the Panther? She was married to Black Panther. It's
Yeah,
my understanding. They had a kid together or
I'm
something.
trying to figure out how they gonna work that now because Chadwick is gone.
Well, the Black Panther, it changes. It don't matter about him. The Black Panther is not
Yeah,
always
well,
the
it
same. You
could be a
fight for the
new.
throne.
I still would love to see them resurrect Killmonger and let him be the Black Panther, and then he be married to whoever the new Storm is gonna be. I think that would be really cool
No, I think
because I like Michael B. Jordan as an actor.
uh did I see something that said they were gonna get Umbaka, the Umbaka man from the Umbaka tribe. Lord, I
Yes,
probably saying their names wrong. That he
that's
gonna fight
that's his. Yeah,
for the
that's
throne.
M'Baku is his name. Yes.
Mbaku, yeah. So that would be interesting. Um, it I need
At
them to
this point,
leave the
they owe
sister.
him because he's the one that saved.
Yeah, he saved
Yeah.
T'Challa.
At this point, I bet he think, man, I keep coming in here in all these battles. They owe me.
So, because according to some of the comics, at some point, Shuri, whatever it is
Hmm.
is takes the mantle on. But I want her to still be a smart scientist. I don't want her out here
Well,
fighting.
in theory, she's still very young, so she has time to grow.
Yeah, let her do whatever. Don't make her it. I don't know what y'all plans are. I just know the Storm need to come into the picture. Some people won't even want what's T'Challa went and rescued her, and she didn't need rescuing, but he called himself rescuing her at the beginning.
Oh yeah, the little girlfriend.
Louipe. What's that lady name?
I know who you're talking about.
Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. Don't come for us. You know, y'all know I'm bad with names. This is what it is. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Loopy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Anyway, some people were saying that she could be the Black Panther. We gonna get emails or something, Brian. I feel it in my spirit.
I'm just gonna keep letting you try, cause
I feel it in my jealous. But I didn't say it with confidence like I knew that his name was James.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. Well, Lord, do we have anything else?
Looking forward again to Falcon. 2 weeks out. Falcon coming to America. It's just, I feel like it's gonna be great. Have you been watching? It's Lapia. I think it's Lapia. Okay, I'm sorry. That should be fun. Have you seen any? Probably not, because you've been in Wonder Brain. Equalizer.
Yes,
Queen Latifah.
I love it.
I've enjoyed them as well.
I gotta watch the latest episode. I haven't caught it yet.
As well. I've seen the first two. I haven't seen this third one. My mama didn't. Shout out, mama. Didn't want to say too much because she knows she'll tell me what happening.
I got into it not because I thought that she would be as good as Denzel was in the movies, but I just want to see what they would do with Queen. Because I like Queen. I've enjoyed everything she's ever been in, and I just want to see. And the first two episodes were very good, so I'm interested to see where they take it in the third.
And I'm a Queen fan, and so Latifah. I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out because I'm a Queen Latifah fan. But I was like, I don't know, like I didn't see her being like a fight and stuff. But the fact of the matter is, and my mom was reminding me, she was like, the white guy when they first did it, he wasn't out there fighting like that. Like that wasn't his thing. They kind of made Denzel's character in the movies be more of a fighter and all that stuff he be doing but she said that guy wasn't really doing all that. He would, he could go there if he had to. And so they've made hers be more like that, like using more brains than bronze. And so I've enjoyed it.
Yes, I think it's gonna be very good.
Because I think it was crafted how in episode 2 how she was able to save the little boy.
Yes, that was awesome.
So
another good show for us.
At some point today, I'll try to watch it on the morning. But
what time is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably get on here in a little bit.
What time is it?
After I come down from Wonder World.
Wonder World, Wonder World. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, as always, people, I am one of your hosts, Brian Mackay, and I am with
2T, Too Hot to Trot, Davis. Brian.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
What time is it?
And this has been the Mackay T Show podcast. Thank you for listening.
This is the Mackay T Show. This is the Mackay T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian Mackay and T Davis. Yeah. You can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.